Welcome to Legends and Cryptids. Today we're stepping into one of the most captivating and mysterious figures of Mesoamerican lore, the Nahual. Imagine a being capable of shifting from human form into an animal at will, slipping through the shadows of night. That's the Nahual, a creature whose roots lie deep within ancient indigenous mythology, especially among the Aztecs and the Maya. Stories of the Nahual invoke both fear and awe, as it's said these shapeshifters possess powerful magic, often linked to sorcery. In some tales, Nahuales protect villages, using their supernatural abilities for good, while in others, they are feared as dark sorcerers or tricksters who cause harm for their personal gain. This complex duality has led to an endless number of interpretations, making the Nahual a fascinating cryptid, blending human nature with the wild instincts of animals. But where does this myth really come from? What ancient beliefs and customs shaped the legend of the Nahual? And how does this figure continue to spark the imagination of those who claim to have seen it? Let's journey back in time to explore its origins and what makes the Nahual a true mystery of the ages. The legend of the Nahual stretches back to ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, particularly the Aztecs and the Maya, where it was believed that some individuals were born with the ability to transform into animals. This concept of shape-shifting is deeply tied to the indigenous worldview, which sees humans, animals, and nature as interconnected. The term Nahual itself comes from the Nahuatl language, referring to a sorcerer or shaman who could control animal spirits and take on their forms. Among the Aztecs, the Nahuales were often linked to the idea of a tonali, or spirit companion. Each person was said to have a spiritual twin in the animal kingdom, with which their destiny and personality were tied. High-ranking priests, warriors, and rulers, those thought to have a stronger connection to the gods, were believed to have the ability to transform into their animal counterpart. Depending on the legend, a Nahual could become a jaguar, coyote, owl, or other creatures, using this transformation to protect their community, or in some darker tales to cast curses and wreak havoc. The Maya had similar beliefs. Their shamans, who could traverse the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms, were thought to have the power of wayob, meaning they could turn into animals to communicate with spirits or influence the world around them. However, Maya mythology also includes tales of evil Nahuales, those who would shapeshift to terrorize villages, steal, or even carry out ritual sacrifices. Across regions and time, the Nahual has appeared in folklore as both protector and predator, a figure with great power, feared for its magical abilities. Many still tell stories of Nahuales in rural villages where the legend remains alive. This myth, with its ancient roots, continues to inspire wonder and fear across generations. Throughout history, there have been numerous accounts of real-life encounters with Nahuales, especially in remote parts of Mexico and Central America. These sightings often describe mysterious figures seen at night, transforming into animals and vanishing into the darkness. One of the most well-known stories comes from the mountainous regions of Oaxaca, where locals have long reported sightings of Nahuales shifting into jaguars or coyotes. In some cases, farmers claim to have seen strange, human-like figures prowling their fields before suddenly taking the form of animals and fleeing. These testimonies often describe the unsettling feeling of being watched or followed by something unnatural, something that seems to possess both human intelligence and animal instincts. In 1960s rural Mexico, a famous case took place in the town of Santiago Tuxtla. Witnesses reported a series of eerie events where strange footprints, first human, then shifting into animal tracks, were found near farms where livestock had mysteriously disappeared or been killed. The local people believed a Nahual was behind these occurrences, using its shape-shifting abilities to enter the farms undetected. Another chilling account comes from Chiapas, where an old man was said to possess the ability to turn into a black dog at night. According to locals, this man used his powers to steal from villagers, but he was eventually caught and punished. Stories like these have been passed down for generations, adding to the Nahual's reputation as both a magical protector and a malevolent figure. Even today, Some rural communities continue to report sightings. In modern times, these stories are often dismissed as superstition or misidentifications of regular animals. But for those who have experienced these encounters, the fear and mystery surrounding the Nahual remain very real. Could these sightings be evidence of something ancient and unknown? Or are they simply folklore, blending myth and imagination with reality? Science often approaches cryptid sightings like those of the Nahual with skepticism, attributing them to more logical explanations. From a scientific perspective, many alleged encounters with Nahuals could be explained by psychological factors, misinterpretations, or cultural traditions. One of the most common scientific explanations is that the sightings of Nahuals are simply cases of mistaken identity. In many rural areas, the creatures reported could be actual animals, like coyotes, jaguars, or large dogs, that were misinterpreted as something supernatural, especially in the low light conditions of night. This idea is supported by the fact that human brains are wired to seek patterns, especially faces and familiar forms in the environment, even when they're not truly there. When fear or local legend is involved, the imagination can easily fill in the gaps, leading to a belief in something more than an ordinary animal. Additionally, cultural beliefs and collective memory play a significant role. In communities where stories of the Nahual are passed down through generations, the power of suggestion can influence what people think they see. If someone grows up hearing tales of shapeshifters stalking the countryside at night, they might be more inclined to interpret unusual events or sounds as evidence of a Nahual. Some experts also suggest that the figure of the Nahual might be linked to historical accounts of shamanistic practices. In these traditions, shamans or medicine men would often claim to take on the spirit or physical form of animals as part of their rituals. Though these were likely symbolic or psychological transformations, they might have contributed to the stories of literal shape-shifting. Over time, these practices, mixed with myth, could evolve into the Nahual lore we hear today. While science tends to lean toward rational explanations, the mystery persists, especially in regions where belief in Nahuales remains strong. Whether through superstition, psychology, or cultural memory, the idea of the Nahual continues to blur the line between myth and reality. Alternative theories about the Nahual are fascinating and often dip into the paranormal and conspiracy realms. Some believe that the Nahual is not just a myth, but a real, hidden phenomenon connected to ancient knowledge of magic and shape-shifting. According to these theories, the Nahuals could be shamans who have unlocked the secrets of manipulating physical forms, using rituals passed down from pre-Columbian times. These practitioners, the theory goes, possess abilities to transcend normal human limits and access animal-like traits through some form of supernatural or lost technology. Another perspective claims that Nahuales are tied to alien encounters or interdimensional beings. Some suggest that sightings of these shapeshifters could be linked to extraterrestrial visitors who have the ability to alter their appearance or disguise themselves as animals to blend into our world. This idea is rooted in the broader theory that ancient civilizations had contact with alien beings, and their advanced knowledge was passed down in the form of cryptid legends. There are also conspiracy theories that suggest Nahuales could be part of government experiments, where humans are being genetically altered to achieve animal transformations. This far-fetched idea plays into modern fears of secret scientific projects, with some claiming that military programs might be working on hybrid creatures or ways to manipulate the human body in extreme ways. While these theories stretch the imagination, they offer intriguing alternative explanations for those who believe the Nahual is more than a cultural myth. However, without concrete evidence, they remain speculative, offering more questions than answers. The Nahual, whether viewed through the lens of ancient myth or modern sightings, remains one of the most intriguing and mysterious figures in cryptozoology. While science offers logical explanations, such as misidentifications, cultural influences, and psychological factors, the enduring stories of shapeshifters continue to capture the imagination. Could the Nahual be a relic of forgotten shamanic practices, or are these tales simply folklore passed down through generations? In the end, it's up to you to decide whether the Nahual is a legend rooted in fear and superstition, or if there's more to this ancient mystery than meets the eye. What's clear is that the fascination with shapeshifters persists, reminding us of the thin line between reality and the supernatural. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and join us on our next journey into the unknown, as we continue exploring cryptids, legends, and the mysteries of the world. Until next time,